When you cook for someone else, they see you in a totally different light. And suddenly, you gain characteristics that maybe your loved one had never seen before. It's the 7 reasons that you get sexier when you cook for someone else, today on the Carefree Cooks Code. I'm Chef Todd Moore, and this is the Carefree Cooks Code, every Tuesday live at noon Eastern. Here's our challenge. How can home cooks cook freely with creativity, confidence, and pride while ignoring recipes and still impressing themselves and others with what they cook? Well, the answer is found in becoming empowered with how cooking works, using dependable and repeatable methods of cooking that work for any ingredient, for any diet, and any desire, just like chefs do. And we'll know we've cracked it when everyone sees cooking as an exciting and rewarding way to improve their relationships, their lifestyles, and their health through better food and cooking. This is the Carefree Cooks Code. There you are. Welcome back to the Carefree Cooks Code, everyone. This is the free public weekly show for the methods, the techniques, and the insights into better food and cooking. We're live every Tuesday right here at noon Eastern on my Chef Todd Moore page on Facebook. If you'd like to get an email reminder of when I'm going live, you should go to webcookingclasses.com/live and we'll send an email for you on Tuesday mornings. If you want to see what I'm cooking and talk about how I did it, hear me brag probably a lot, you can go to Instagram.com/Chef Todd Moore. Here's the tortilla Todd soup that we created live together on Facebook just, 3 days ago? If you were there on Saturday. If not, get to my page, this page right here. Check out that replay before it expires. How do we do it? Excuse me. Heck, we're Carefree Cooks, right? We create our own recipes. This brings friends and family together. You wind up learning every time you cook, creating your own cooking style, all by practicing pro methods, and you wind up loving what you're doing. That's me. I love what I'm doing. It's a good time of year to be cooking, especially because it's the sexiest time of year to cook. It's only, 2 weeks away, right? So once you've survived all those holiday dinners where you've been overfed, stuffed, and full, once you made it through the New Year's buffet and the fancy food, once you've eaten all your Super Bowl dips, now it's time to get intimate, right? Holiday dinners are for the whole family. New Year's is the loud celebration. Super Bowl is all the hype, but Valentine's Day is where you really get to show how much sexier you are when you're just cooking for two. This is the opportunity to do it. So I'm going to tell you all about that, but first I've got a what am I for you. Whoa, what the heck is that? I got a what am I for you today. Any chemists out there might know, anybody with an 8th grade chemistry class, of which I think I dropped out, you would know right away. So what is it? Tell me in the comments section below today, what am I? I get dozens of really, really nice emails all the time. Every day, dozens. Sometimes if I don't look at them for a day or two, they get into the hundreds. Most of them, the great majority, very generous, very kind, heart outpouring of sentiments of what learning how to cook freely with confidence, creativity, and pride does for somebody's life. So I really appreciate it when you take the time to tell me how my unique approach to teaching cooking has helped you improve your lifestyle or your health. And I get comments like, Chef Todd, our family eats dinner together now. We used to be all scattered with microwavable things leaning against the counter. Now we all sit down and enjoy it. I get, Chef Todd, I get more compliments on my food than I ever had. Chef Todd, cooking is easier. It used to be a chore. Chef Todd, my husband is asking for seconds where he never did before. Chef Todd, our cat doesn't get as many scraps as she did before. I hear all these things like, we've been together 40 years. And now I'm cooking for my partner for the first time, things like that. Chef Todd, I'm passing these cooking skills on to my grandkids. I love to hear that. Nothing makes a better adult than time in the kitchen. I've even gotten, Chef Todd, your classes got me laid last night. And those are all true comments. That's actual comments that I got. While web cooking classes can bring your family together, while it can give you a new hobby, it can help educate and empower the next generation. I do not make guarantees about getting lucky in my web cooking classes. That's up to you, but I do know that cooking can make you much sexier. So cooking, romance, love, they all go together perfectly, don't they? Food is love. And the person that prepares the love is always worthy of your appreciation, no? I mean, don't you love someone who can cook? Yeah, you do. I know you do. I know the answer is yes, because I've heard hundreds, if not thousands, of cooking stories from home cooks all over the world. They love their moms. They love their grandmas. They remember the comfort food, the times in the kitchen. I talk to people that are 80 years old, and they tell me about their grandmother in the kitchen. You never forget it. It's love. The kitchen's love. Mom taught you the feeling of security that food brings as well. And people love their grandmas or grandpas who brought them into the kitchen, made them feel smart, right? When the cookies came out right and grandma said, "Isn't that great?" It makes you feel smart. Grandma taught you the pride in accomplishment in the kitchen. For me, it was my grandpa, my mother's father, who made cooking seem like a really cool puzzle to figure out. Milton Moore. Grandpa taught me problem-solving skills. And in this early development, cooking is love. And in adulthood, cooking is love. And that's why we all love someone who can cook. So, Valentine's Day quickly approaching, it's the perfect opportunity to demonstrate your love through great food and cooking. And there are 7 specific things that you demonstrate every time you cook for someone else. And each of these is characteristics that could raise the status, your status in the eyes of someone you love. Don't you want them to appreciate and admire you? Because when you cook for someone else, it shows that you're sensitive. You're sensitive to colors. You're sensitive to flavors and textures. The person that can put that meal together has got to have great sensitivity. You're sensitive enough to know the right foods to cook. Maybe you're cooking for a specific diet. Maybe you're demonstrating your sensitivity to the things that are important to the person that you're cooking for. Your favorite food, the one we had on that trip, remember back when? Cooking can be a photo album. It's also sexy to be creative. I mean, people are attracted to those that can express themselves through art, through music, through literature, in the kitchen. That's why even the ugly guitar players get the women, And even if you can't play guitar, even if you can't write poetry, you can put exciting flavors and interesting foods together to show your creativity to the one you love and demonstrate that artistic streak you have. There's no fail in this. You demonstrate your creativity in an act of love, there's no fail. Success is really sexy, don't you think? The success of your cooking skills shows that you can bring a project, bring the full presentation to fruition. And it's really attractive to watch someone plan a menu, coordinate the whole thing, add some mystery to it. Oh, I picked up the mystery ingredient today, honey, right? Execute it well. Present that beautiful plate for the two of you to enjoy together. It's tremendously sexy to be successful, to pull off a party that way. Chefs, aren't as successful as rock stars in that regard, but I know one woman that's happy about it. Being world traveled, right? Being worldly is very sexy, and we can't particularly travel the world now, and even if you've never gotten on a plane or gone anywhere in your life, you can travel through food and cooking. You can gather ingredients from all over the world, and you could speak articulately about why you chose them for the meal going together. It's very sexy to start cooking Asian food or Latin food or something that requires a lot more of your attention. You're bringing cultures together. You're combining and contrasting styles and flavors, and ultimately you make your dining room into a travel destination. You get to go somewhere even though you don't have to go through going somewhere. Generosity is very sexy. And I'm not talking about picking up the check at a restaurant. What, $150? $200? If you go to a fancy restaurant, that's not generosity. Picking up a check. Anybody can pick up a check. I don't mean dollars and cents generosity. I mean generosity of time. I mean generosity of your attention. Because when you give your time to someone else, that's really generous. Anybody can pick up a check. But make dinner, and you've really given something that can jumpstart a relationship, restart a relationship, because it shows your focus, your dedication of time. Being mysterious is kind of sexy. People that cook have a mystery to them. People that bake, the people that bake breads and things like that, always have a mystery. Sourdough, how do you do sourdough? Someone that is figuring out how cooking works is interesting. What they know is mysterious. How do they know how to make that, right? Where did they get that idea from? How did they know to match those flavors? What other talents might they be hiding? You create a curiosity about yourself. You create a mystery of skills that you have that could be kind of sexy, right? And lastly, when you cook for someone else, you can show off how skilled with your hands you are. Being good with your hands, getting flashy is really sexy. Maybe you cook together in the kitchen. Maybe that's where the hands come together. Even if only one of you is like pouring the wine, right? But be in the kitchen together. Appreciate that together. Show off the knife skills. Deglaze a pan, let it reduce. Pretty cool. If you're really brave, flambe that dessert. Flame on, right? Because each kitchen skill that you show off just might make them wonder what else you can accomplish with your hands. The man that can cook instantly demonstrates sentiments that he might not be able to put into words. Men aren't too good at words. They're not real good at poetic sentences. But men are good at cooking. So if you're a man out there who's not good with words, let's start cooking. And the other cool thing is, men don't like following recipes. Have you ever known a man that wants to stop and ask for directions? That includes cooking. They don't want somebody telling them what to cook. So that's where the methods come in. And a romantic meal together will mean so much more to women than all the flowers, all the chocolates, all the greeting cards a man can gather, and it means so much more to them. And now, switch that pronoun to make it anything that you want. I'm not saying it's the men that need to learn how to cook. There are women that need to learn how to cook. Anybody that wants to demonstrate their love can demonstrate 7 specific characteristics when they do that for their loved one. Now, women, let's admit, no matter how old the boy gets, he still wants those feelings, right? He still wants those comforts, those elements of when he was a boy. No matter how older she gets, she wants to remember the time in the kitchen with grandma. Just like I started out talking about. Anybody that cooks for loved ones demonstrates kindness and generosity, just like I described. Anyone that cooks for someone else is a leader, is a provider, is an artist with cooking skills that create warmth and love in the household, because a romantic meal together will mean so much more than a gift, a necktie, a perfume, a cologne, garage tool gifts, anything that you can come up with is better time spent together, creating something together, which is really a romantic experience. That's how cooking makes you sexier in so many different ways. And look, I can't tell you what romantic food is to you, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be complicated food either. Don't listen to fancy chefs. If your first date was at a baseball game, maybe surprise him or her with a dinner of hot dogs chili dogs and popcorn. Right? That's an extreme example. I'm not serving you hot dogs, Heather, don't worry. But if that's what makes it, if you met by the seashore, make some seafood. And just like a great restaurant, it's the mood that you create, the environment, the atmosphere, along with your home-cooked meal on Valentine's Day. Light the candles. Bring out the tablecloth. Use the linen napkins. Get the little napkin rings. Whatever it might be, make it a special day, because the time spent together, from planning, shopping, preparing, plating, enjoying, even cleaning up, will make it a much more special Valentine's Day today. And since the topic of today's conversation is sexy food and the sexy cooking food going on this week, I thought you might like to see the chemical structure of chocolate. That's why the the chemists out there knew that was right away. Chemical structure of chocolate. Hey, if you know someone who'd like to put a little more sexy into their cooking and need to know the 7 reasons that cooking for someone else really does make you sexy, please like or share this video with them. I mean, who doesn't want to be sexier, right? They're going to appreciate it as well. Great news! Oh my goodness, this is great news for you. Registration is now open for the next Carefree Cooks Lab class. It's this coming Saturday. Don't forget, Lab stands for Learn, Act, Become. We are going to create 3 soups from 3 mother sauces this Saturday, February 5th at noon Eastern. We're going to be on Zoom, so we can cook together in real time. You can raise your hand. You can ask questions. We can truly interact while we're cooking. And at the end of the class, you will have at least 3 meals for now, the near future, or the freezer, whatever you decide to do with them. The class is about how to save time and money while creating scratch-made soups, because you learn how to do it, you act to create it, and then there's 3. And then you become the skilled soup chef that you want. Learn, act, become. It's a premium level class. It is a unique, interactive live event that's going to fill your fridge, your freezer, or your belly with great soups, and your head with great soup ideas based on the methods that you're going to learn there. 3 soups from 3 mother sauces this Saturday at noon Eastern. You can find out more when you go to webcookingclasses.com/lab. So until next Tuesday at noon Eastern time, this is Chef Todd Moore reminding you that there's certainly a method to your romantic cooking success.